What is up, y'all? Welcome to Bucket for Bucket with Kayla and Kenny. This is the first episode of the WNBA season, correct?
Yes, it is.
I'm thinking it definitely is the first episode of the WNBA season. Shout out to everybody tuned in for the 2024 season. This is our first official season kicking off the WNBA, and we both doing it as media. So shout out to Kayla and myself for doing the damn thing. What up, Kayla? How you feeling?
I'm good. Thanks for the introduction. We're here. Week 3 took us long enough, but we're here. Super excited to share our thoughts. So much going on in the WNBA. It's been an amazing season so far. Highly anticipated season, and it has lived up to the hype.
It's definitely a lot going on. It's definitely living up to the hype, Kim. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the WNBA space is a safe space anymore. And to the fans and everybody tuning in, thank y'all for the patience and waiting on us. Definitely a lot going on. You're not gonna get an episode every week, but you definitely will be getting content. We'll be talking about everything that's happened thus far in the WNBA and just speaking all the top stories. So whenever you're ready to kick it off, Kay, let's talk to him.
Just want to shout out the fans. Thank you for all the support from last year. Because of you guys, we have been given the opportunity to cover the Liberty more in depth now as media, being able to speak to the coaches, all the coaches. Shout out to the coaches. Every question that I've asked, the coaches have given an amazing response, have been great sports players as well with participation. All the fans who recognize us and are always willing to participate in our video because of you giving us the confidence, enjoying our videos, the great conversations that we are creating online. So thank you
Facts.
to everyone. Liberty Pod sent me a beautiful DM last night, and I'm just thank you for your support. You're super overwhelmed with the love. And now, yeah, like you
Super
said,
dope, super dope.
we can start it off since we have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah,
You want to start off with the rookie class? I
yeah.
think they've been making the most noise lately.
Man, the rookie class, yeah, they definitely are making a lot of noise. They came into the league making noise, and they brought a lot of noise with them because they bought all the new fans, they bought everybody that's been bandwagon and riding with them for years as well. They brought them and they brought a lot of attention to the W. I just do want to highlight because last night we did see the Indiana Fever and the Liberty play again, and that was the second time that it was sold out at capacity. The first time I think was 17,335, and then they topped it this time around with 17,401 people in attendance last night. So that's part of the Caitlin Clark effect. That's part of the Liberty effect. And even speaking back to when Angel Reese came back to Barclays, the capacity was capacity crowd. You see a lot of different jerseys in the stands. So shout out to these new rookies, not just Caitlin Clark, but all of the rookies, this rookie class that has made an impact on the WNBA positive and a little bit negative with some of the stuff that's going on Twitter, but in terms of what we getting from the fans and everything like that. But shout out to that rookie class because that's what we in discussion. So what did we have to discuss with the rookie class? Because I know you sent a couple
I mean,
topics.
Caitlin Clark just got was just announced today. She earned her first Rookie of the Month. It's been a tough month for Caitlin Clark, and not only her but her entire team, the Indiana Fever, have had the toughest schedule out of the entire NBA. 11 games in 20 days. The Las Vegas Aces have only played 6 games. So compared to them, they've had a very tough schedule, have played the Connecticut Sun, who is undefeated twice. They played the New York Liberty 3 times. They already played the Las Vegas Aces. So that schedule hasn't been easy for the Indiana Fever. And Caitlin Clark, being a rookie, making that deep run in the NCAA tournament, she didn't have much rest. She went straight,
Yeah,
like 2, 3 weeks straight to
straight
camp.
to it. Straight to it, and limited on rest. But that's what it is when you get thrown into the best league for professional league, in my opinion, in terms of the hardest league to get into. Like, those are the sacrifices you got to make to get into it. I think she's doing really well, considering everything that's been thrown her way. All of the pressure that's been put on top of her, not just speaking basketball. We know that she can play the game, but everything that's been coming, towards her is just it's bananas. Just to see just the impact that she's making, and just to see and hear it's really a lot. I could only imagine how
But she's
how
handling
much like
so well.
yeah
17 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. She's actually in the top 5 in assists for the entire NBA.
Actually, I want to correct you because I think her average went down after yesterday because Benaj Delaney locked her up. She put that seatbelt on her last night. That average went down a little bit. I don't know, but that average definitely went down. But
6.4 as of right now. She's number 4 in assists per game.
in assists per game.
Yeah, number 4 with 6.4. But Benaja definitely locked her down last night. She
She
only had
did.
3 points.
But you said that she's number 4 in the entire league in assists right now.
Correct. Alyssa Thomas number 1 with 9. Natasha Cloud with 7. Jackie Young with 7 as well, and then Caitlin with 6, and Skylar at number 5 with 6.1.
So the thing with Caitlin Clark averaging that many assists, right? I think that's very telling because of the fact that she's still able to average that much assists, and her team isn't necessarily playing that well. So when they really have it flowing, it makes me think, how much assists can she really have? Because she's really going to have the ball in her hand for a long period of time. She could have a lot more assists. Like, she could definitely average more assists. And once she takes care of the turnovers, which will eventually come with the game, like that's gonna be scary. So I mean, shout out to her, man. Like, again, 6 assists, averages 6 assists. Even though she had 3 points, I think she had like 5 rebounds and 6 assists last night too, or something like that. So it's like, she does other things than
Which
just
is
shoot the
great
three.
because
But
she can't just rely on her scoring. The way these players have defended her every single night, they put the best defender on her, and they're gonna give her best shot. But she's shown that she
absolutely,
can play without making buckets. And once that shot goes down, I mean, she was 1 for 10 yesterday. Once those looks begin to fall, Caitlin Clark is gonna be real dangerous.
that seatbelt worked. That seatbelt was on tight last night. No movement. That seatbelt was on last night. That Benijah Laney Hamilton seatbelt was strapped on CC last night.
But it hasn't only been Caitlin Clark. We can't forget Angel Reese leading in offensive rebounds, leading the league in offensive rebounds, which was her bread and butter in college. Most of her points were off of offensive rebounds as well.
I want to say this because I'm gonna look into the camera. I owe Angel Reese an apology. I owe you an apology, Angel. And this is not. I didn't talk bad about you or nothing like that because I love you as a player. I think you're an awesome person. But I was one of the people last year, or not even last year, a couple months ago, because it just happened where I said, but I also retracted because I said I wanted you to stay one more year just to get, one, to just develop your game more. 2, I wanted Angel Reese to get her special flowers in the sense of I felt like she should have been picked higher in the draft, like not at number 7. I felt like she should have been picked higher. But I did retract that because I kept telling y'all I kept saying that I do believe that her and Caitlin Clark need to come in together because they are the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of the league. So I wanted to retract and apologize to Asia for saying I think she should have stayed in college one more year to develop, because after further review, this woman can hoop. This woman could really hoop. This queen could play basketball at a high level, and I think the fact that she's a southpaw, her unorthodox play makes it even harder for people to guard her. Like, obviously she still has a lot of work to do to make it to that top tier level, but she hands down belongs in this league. So I owe you a sincere apology, Angel, for even thinking that you should have stayed one more extra year in college, because that's false. The lie detector determined that was a lie. That's all I had to say.
I might have understand why you said it, when you said it. Maybe her footwork, she needs to work on that layup package. Sometimes it looks like she's just throwing it up there. But Angel's been hooping, and she's been grabbing her rebounds and helping her team out in any way she can. She didn't have a great scoring game against Caitlin Clark, where she only had a jumper, I believe, and scored off of the offensive rebound. It has been translating well to the WNBA. She's been able to grab a lot of rebounds and create points. She even shot a jumper, which I was surprised in that game with Caitlin Clark. It was the only shot she made. She shot attempted all game. But if she really works on that jumper, she'll be dangerous 12, 14 feet from the basket and also
Yeah.
grabbing rebounds.
Yeah, she has to. She has to. And then there was something that you said too, because a lot of people have been saying it too, and I disagree with them when they say that she just throws stuff up at the basket. When Angel Reese is at the basket and she's fighting for position the way that she does aggressively, and she's tossing those shots up, I think it's not because she's just tossing it up. She's trying to draw a foul as well. Most of these times she's getting hacked and whacked. So it's like she's trying to put up a shot and like y'all playing physical with her, y'all pushing her, and she's putting a shot up so one the ref could see and hopefully call the right thing. So I like kind of dust that off when I hear people be like, yo, she just throws her shots up and everything like that, because one, that's false. Two, if it's only offensive rebounding right now that's getting her buckets, so what? That's a huge impact of the game for you to get your team's second, third chance opportunities
Someone has to
like
do
that.
it.
That's huge. And everybody knows the team that wins the rebounding match, most of the time, they go on to win the game. So it's like, yo, you having an asset like that is amazing.
Yeah, and speaking of the Chicago Sky staying in the shy, Camila Cardoso was also able to make her debut against that game with Caitlin Clark, the first game of the Commissioner's Cup. Camila was back. I was super proud of her. If you saw the documentary on ESPN, and it showed a little bit more about Camila Cardoso, just her life, how much she sacrificed leaving Brazil, leaving her family. And if you don't know, being a student athlete on a visa like Mika Mu as well, you aren't allowed money off of sponsorships and deals. So she's missing out on this era where
Of NIL and everything.
NIL players are making historic amounts of money, like Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, also her teammates, the whole Carolina team, and she wasn't able to profit off of anything, and she really needs it. She wants to help her family, and so this moment meant so much to her to finally be able to put on that jersey and play for the Sky. So I was so happy to see her back.
Yeah, that's dope.
And you could tell she was eager to be on the court because she had 11 points in 18 minutes.
Yeah, yo, Camila, first of all, this Chicago Sky team is going to be a problem. Like, it's going to be a huge problem. Give it 3-4 years. I don't know. It could be sooner, but they are going to be a problem. Like, and when they like really put Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso next to each other and like play the game like the rebounding matchups, it's going to get ugly. Offensive rebounds all day, defensive rebounds all day, stops at the rim. All they gonna need is like a veteran presence and a really good point guard. That's gonna get them the ball in the right spots. They're gonna be a really, really amazing team. Like
your girl, Dana Evans, who's been taking that position.
Dana Evans. Like I love Dana Evans, but I don't think she's the one who's like gonna set them up the right way. I like Dana Evans more in the role that she played last year, coming off the bench, 6th player of the year. Like she was one of the. To me, I thought she should have won.
She should have won last year.
I really thought she should have won, but her role, like she stepped up amazing. Marina Mabry, oh my gosh, like I love to watch Marina Mabry play basketball. She's like she's underrated. I don't feel like enough people talk about Marina Mabry. I know we talk about the rookies, but yo, Double M, she could ball. She could really ball. Like she definitely does her thing. So that team is going to be a problem.
I mean, it was lights out when they played versus the Liberty.
Yeah, so and I'm still trying to wonder like why make a move like backtracking, like trading Kalia Copper and stuff like that, because I'm like trying to picture this team in my mind like with a Kalia Copper, a Marina Mabry, Camila Cardoso, Angel, like that just sounds Dana Evans. That sounds like a really, really good team. So I'm like, why would they throw all of that away? I was looking forward to see Teaspoon and KFC, but I'm getting backtracked. I'm getting like, yeah.
But once I was watching that game and I saw how easy Camila Cardoso was scoring in the paint, they were just throwing it up there and she was catching it. She was like 6 for 6. as soon as she got into the game. She was on minute
Yeah.
restriction. You know, she's back from a shoulder injury, so Teaspoon didn't want her doing too much. But Teaspoon actually relied on her for the last 6 minutes. You know, the game was close. It ended 71-70 favor of India.
Yeah.
But it was close. And instead of going to Elizabeth Williams, Teaspoon went to Carmilla Cardoso because there isn't anything you could do against 6'7". Like there was no way you can guard her. She was scoring over 3 defenders. If I'm gonna add the clip on here, she really scored her first basket over 3 defenders.
3 defenders, yeah.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I told Rem earlier, I was like, Camila Cardoso, if she stays healthy, of course, when all is said and done, she can really be probably the best center in the WNBA ever.
The best center in it. That's a bold take. That's a bold take.
And that works on her footwork. I think she's great at finishing in the rim. She, you know, she gets the ball, and there's not much you could do once she gets the ball a foot away from the paint.
She really surprised me. She really surprised me with that first game because, like I said, I didn't think that she was gonna, you know, be able. I didn't think she was gonna be able to like do that. I just thought she was just really a defensive presence. Watching her South Carolina, I'm like, you know, I don't know if she's gonna be this good in a W. I know defensively and rebounding, that's her. But in terms of scoring the ball, the way how effective she was, just like you said, that was super impressive. And she does definitely, if she stays healthy, she has
the
the
potential
ability.
too. Not saying she is the best, but she has the potential too. If she adds a jumper to her game, plus the footwork, and she's already a great defensive presence. You see 6'7" in the paint, and you're thinking twice about shooting that layup.
Yeah, yeah, and for real, like you said, if she adds a jumper to it, she develops that. That's gonna be a. We already seen her hit a big jumper in her career. We already seen her hit a big jumper, so we know she's capable
in practice. So
exactly.
Add that to her game.
Yo, you know what I want to highlight too? I forgot who she was working with, but I remember there was a video in the off season with Chris. I don't think was it Chris Brickley and Angel Reese. I forgot who she was working out with, and she was knocking down those NBA threes. I'm like, yo, will Teaspoon allow that in the game? Like, because I want to see that in the game. I would like to see her stretch the floor a little bit and shoot. I see Cameron Brink shooting a lot of threes over there in Los Angeles. They letting her let it fly. So I would love to see, you know, just that development in general, like how that's gonna look.
Oh yeah, Cameron Brink so far from the rookies. Glad that you mentioned her. Is looking like the rookie with the most complete package. She's in the top 5 in blocks. She's actually the only problem with her is getting into foul trouble, really.
Yeah, because she's so like she's such a defensive presence. So it's a period of time where she actually got away with it a lot in college, where they're not gonna let her get away with it in the W is swinging her hands down. Like you got to stay straight and keep that verticality. But because she's so long, she was able to swing her hands down and locate the ball where it's good, and she'll actually get a lot of blocks. In the WNBA, once you swing your hands down on that verticality, the refs are more than likely going to call a foul, even if it's not a foul, because the WNBA the refs gonna ref, right? They're gonna do what they do. So it's like, they be refing. So
she's been shooting jumpers, mid-range jumpers. She's been shooting threes, getting steals. She literally has the complete package, and she's really in that battle for Rookie of the Year with Caitlin Clarkson. She's been getting so many minutes. The Sparks are really in that rebuilding mode, and she was a key player for that rebuilding. Rakia Jackson getting the starting position as well. Lasia Clarendon was out. I'm not sure if she got injured, and that gave Rakia Jackson the chance to start, and she's been very efficient as well. Has the most percentage of all the rookies. Another breakout performance.
Who else we got?
Alyssa Peely, who isn't known for her 3-point shooting. Went 4 for 4 from deep from Minnesota just 2 days ago. They're also letting her play free out there.
Yeah. Look, Alyssa Peely, to me, out of all of the rookies, I feel like she's the most WNBA ready out of all of them. First, I originally felt that it was Aaliyah Edwards who was the most WNBA ready out of everybody, but I don't know why Washington is taking so long to ease Aaliyah Edwards in. I don't know what's up with that, because I feel like she should have automatically been a starter. No disrespect to whoever's on Washington. No disrespect to Shakira Austin or any of them, because I think Shakira's a starter as well. But
I think Steph is starting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love Steph. I love Big Mama Steph, but no, it's time for Aaliyah. It's Aaliyah Edwards' time. Washington knows that they're in the rebuild and everything like that.
They're
Big
last.
Mama
They're
Steph
number
should
12 right now with their record. They haven't won one game yet.
Yeah, they haven't won a game yet. So it's like Big Mama's role on that team should be helping. The veterans on the team should be helping, the rookies, the next gen and type things. So that's where I see it. But I got sidetracked. What was we talking about?
We were talking about
I started talking about
Alisa Pili and her readiness for the WNBA.
Oh yeah, Alyssa Pili and her readiness. She is super ready because one, she's she barely jumps off of the ground, but for some reason the ball just locates her. She could rebound well. I like the way that she rebounds the ball. I like the way that she moves. She could shoot the basketball well. I know she's not necessarily known for her three-point shooting, but she had games in college where she had some big games behind the arc too. So it's like she could do this. She's built for this. She's ready for it. So I like that game that she had the other day. The 20 points, was it like 4 rebounds or something? 4 for 4 from 3. She went crazy.
Oh yeah, she was doing it all.
And Minnesota, low key, to me, looks like a contending team that nobody's talking about. I feel like Minnesota is a low key contender that's ready to go at anybody. They beat on the Liberty the other day. They lost to the Aces, but they played very well against the Aces for 3 quarters and some time. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I thought they had beat the Aces, but you're right. They lost to the Aces. Atlanta won.
Yeah. It was close. It was a close one, though. It was close for 3 quarters and some change. But after that, obviously the Aces kicked in. But the Lynx are not to be toyed with. They're a real team.
I mean, speaking of that point guard presence, that was Courtney Williams for Chicago last year. I thought Chicago would keep Courtney Williams, being the amazing player she was last year for them. Really brought them to that 8th seed. They barely made the playoffs. But
I forgot Courtney Williams was on that team as well. Yo, that's super crazy because it's like, wait, hold on. They had Courtney Williams, Kalia Copper, but hold on. They made that trade to get an additional pick though, right?
They did.
Chicago. Yeah, they did. I forgot who they traded. Which one of those trades was an additional pick? Whoever ended up in Los Angeles. Who ended up over there? Did they trade with LA?
Cameron Brink and Rakia.
No, but I'm saying, did anybody from Chicago end up on LA?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I forgot who they traded with, what that package was or whatever to make that happen. But that's different. That's different. But Courtney Williams, definitely, she was definitely a part of that, and she
has been key for Minnesota. So I mean, like, I felt if Chicago would have kept her, they could have looked even better than what they look already.
Yeah, absolutely.
But definitely Minnesota has been underrated. Shout out to them. Right after Minnesota, in the 4th spot, is the Aces, who made a questionable move when they waived Daisha Fair. The media was going in a frenzy. Like, how are you going to waive the number 3 all-time leading scorer in the WNBA? But, the Aces always have a trick up their sleeve. Tiffany Hayes, who announced retirement last season, they got her out retirement and signed with the Aces. What a move.
Reverse. They
definitely pulled out
Slide to the Aces. That move right there was such a bananas move. First of all, good luck to Daisha Fair. Congratulations on being drafted to the drafted to the Aces and everything like that. Sad to see you go, but I know that you will make your way back to a roster, to the league, and do what you do. But golly, to the Aces, golly. Wait, and to circle back with Daisha Fair, I know the Aces was under investigation for that $100K, but y'all better still give Daisha Fair her $100K if everything goes well. I am not playing with y'all. Y'all better give Daisha Fair her $100K.
No,
okay?
That's
and if y'all three-peat, y'all owe her a ring too. Okay. I'm putting in the word. I'm her lawyer for this one, all right, for this situation right now. We need the 100K, okay? And it's 100K after tax, okay? And then we need the ring if y'all three-peat this year. That's all we asking for. And we go on about y'all business.
Right.
All right?
I mean, it's only right.
Only right. It's only right. I'm just saying. But nah, all jokes aside, that Tiffany Hayes move, that Uno reverse, as Tina Charles said, that was bananas. That move right there, especially with them not having Chelsea Gray at the moment. But it just makes me think about when Chelsea Gray does get back, when Chelsea Gray does get in the fold. I don't know if they're gonna have Tiffany Hayes start right now at the moment with Gray out, but Tiffany Hayes off the bench is such a like. Yo, she's such a. I'm not gonna lie to you. Last year, that was the scariest player to me when the Liberty went against Connecticut, because that's the X factor. I've always said that about Hayes and like just the way that she plays. She's a baller. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to that.
The Aces just got way better. I mean, they've had the injury bug a little bit with KB out as well. Kristen Bell, who's a monster off the bench. So pairing her up with Hayes off the bench when Chelsea comes back is definitely going to be a problem, and Alicia Clark as well. And Kay Martin, the glue, another rookie who's been playing well for the Aces as well.
I like Kate Martin a lot. Kate Martin definitely belongs in the W, man. There's a lot of people who belong in the W, but Kate Martin, she just had
the grit to it.
Yeah, she got this swag to her, the way that she plays. She's an ultimate team player, defense first. She's just one of those cornerstone, one of those players where it's like, yeah, we needed her to win this championship. So I like her. I like her a lot. I think she's doing a great job.
And we haven't spoken about the best team in the W, the Connecticut Sun, 8-0, the 7th team in WNBA history to start off with such a great record. First time in history that they start off with that record. DeWanna Bonner showing that age ain't nothing but a number.
Ain't nothing but a number.
Balling.
Was she number 5? Or what did she move up to? Number 4 or 5 with the scoring that first game?
Time she passed Candace Dupree, her ex-wife. Talk about the drama.
Talk about the drama
from Alyssa Thomas, her current fiance.
Her current.
In the first game back, Indiana, man, the memes had me dying.
Yeah, it with the Alyssa Smith and everything is just it's messy over there. It's messy in the W. But speaking of Connecticut and speaking of AT, I know it's way too early. I do want to ask this too to a lot of fans. But way too early MVP, and the person who I think is going to get MVP hands down this season is going to be Alyssa Thomas. Like, if she looks like she's ready to continue. She's looking like she's ready to continue. Like, she's looking like she's ready to continue what she did last season with the triple doubles. She's already leading with that, the assists, the rebounding. No, she's not the great, like she's not going to score 20, 30 points, but she's going to account for that many points and even more. So it's like Alyssa Thomas, that's MVP right there. Like, she's the MVP.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree or agree to disagree. Don't get me wrong. Alyssa Thomas is doing an amazing job in what she does. No one else can do in the WNBA. The triple-double queen. She put her first triple-double in her first game back. I mean, in the season opener. Ready to ball. I mean, last season when she finished second or third in All-Star vote in MVP voting.
MVP second, yeah.
Was not happy about it. They even made shirts with her number on it, number 25, saying MVP, because they really thought it was her season. But A'ja Wilson, player of the month,
you still give it
for a reason. 26 points, 12 rebounds, double-double, averaging a double-double. I feel like nobody can compete with A'ja Wilson, and A'ja Wilson
26 and 12.
Yeah,
Asia's a beast.
They would have shipped on her shoulder. That 4th place vote last year, she's still not over that.
I hope she still don't care about that 4th place vote. Chill, A'ja. I don't know who gave you that vote.
She mentioned it the other day on Twitter. She ain't playing around with you folks. She wants unanimous MVP this year. I'm telling you, A'ja Wilson for MVP.
Oh man, it's gonna be a struggle. I'm telling you, AT is gonna give her a run for her money, especially with the record that they have right now, if they continue to like, they're not gonna have a whole undefeated season, but like if AT continues what she's doing with the triple double, like something, and even goes on a limb and breaks her own triple double records and stuff like that, I think she's gonna get it. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be another tough year. That's all I'm gonna say. I could tell you for a fact, Stewie might not be in the conversation this year. She will. I doubt she'll be in the conversation this
Very
year.
quiet.
And I'm okay with that because I feel like for them, they're trying to play for something bigger in New York City. So they're not necessarily going to have their sights set on personal records and awards or anything like that. But
which is good.
18 versus
Focusing on building that team chemistry.
yeah, that's the main focus. That's what they need to focus on.
Right. That's
for
exactly
fact.
Yeah, because we want a championship this summer. I'm trying to be down Flatbush, Brooklyn Ave.
I'm trying facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to have a party on down Atlantic Ave.
I'm trying to have a parade this summer. All right, same.
So I don't mind Breonna Stewart being quiet because the team is playing great, getting different players involved. Kayla Thornton had a great game, a breakout game. We haven't seen her play that well in a minute with 20 points. But Naja Laney has been playing amazing as well against the Indiana Fever. All the players scored with 4 minutes in the first quarter. Within the first quarter, every player was on the board. So
yeah,
I love when they're sharing the ball. They scored a assist high with 30 assists that game.
30 assists, yeah. And shout out to you for that question that you asked Sandy Brondello at the pregame of that game, speaking about assists. And they actually did what you asked. The question that you asked. So that was super dope. Another thing they did was
last year was 29. And their record this year with this game
with 30.
30. And when the Liberty are sharing the ball, they're just a different team.
Different team, way different team. And in the first half, they had 4 players with at least 4 assists in the first half. And they finished the game with all 5 starters have 4 assists the first time in New York Liberty history. So we need that. We need more of that, Liberty. They are the only team in basketball history to assist on more than 70% of their shots last year. And that's a big reason why they made it to the promised land. They just wasn't able to do it all. But if they continue playing like that, they could definitely make it back.
And they will, God willing. We're praying. Hope so. What's been your surprise team? Our team is doing great. New York Liberty off to a great start. What has been a team that you're really like, damn?
I'm gonna leave that team for you because that's also a surprise team for me because that I honestly seen what they did the other day against the Aces, so I'm gonna leave that for you. But for me, my surprise team is hard. It's between Chicago and Minnesota because again, Minnesota. I didn't necessarily think Minnesota was going to be as good as they've been thus far this season, but also Chicago being in an ultimate rebuild mode. The games that they've won, the things that they've done thus far, I think they're definitely a surprise. But my surprise team, I'm gonna say Minnesota because, like I said, I really feel like they're a contender. They're 6-2. Some of the teams they beat, they only lost 2 games. One of those 2 games was against the defending champions, Las Vegas Aces. I'm not too sure who the second team was that they lost to, but they're a solid squad. They're definitely a solid squad. So my surprise team thus far is the Minnesota Lynx. Who you got? What about you?
I'm going with Atlanta. Atlanta finished, I believe, 5th last season. They're only 6th right now, but they've still been the surprise team. They were able to beat the Las Vegas Aces. Tina Charles has been playing great, top 5 in rebounds.
Yeah,
rebounds. Glad to see her back. Alicia Gray, the silent assassin. I also call her. I know that's Jackie Young's nickname, but she's very quiet on off the floor, but she's a beast on the court.
Yeah, definitely is.
Haley Jones, I've seen Haley improve her game. Last year she was a rookie out of Stanford, Haley Jones, and now she's getting more minutes, being able to finish at the basket. Love to see how the Atlanta Dream have incorporated her more, giving her more playing time. So Ariel Powers as well, who was a player from Minnesota last season, didn't really get much minutes. A lot of fans would go to see her with signs saying "Free Ariel." I don't know why they wouldn't give her any playing time because she's offensive I mean, she had those 2 steals in the block towards the end of the game to help them keep the lead against the Aces. She was that defensive
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, so yeah, she's definitely surprised. I like your surprise team a lot because they definitely have been a surprise. They definitely what they took out the Aces the other day too, right?
Yes, they did. Only
They
by
took out
4,
the
but
they took the Aces out. They lost to Connecticut by 1 point last night. The only undefeated team in the league. Going back to that Aces game, who was it? Who was it? That was it. Ariel Powers who got into Jackie Young face. Who was that?
yeah, it was AP. AP was with all the
AP got
smoke.
into like that energy, that tension in there. That was different. That was different. I thought that was like I really like Atlanta. Tina Charles. You mentioned her as well. We mentioned her earlier in the show too with her Uno reverse comment. But Tina Charles could still ball. She's still a beast. She's still a double threat like every night. And like this team is a problem on the low. They really making some noise. I 100% agree with you.
Once they build some more chemistry, I mean, it's going to be dangerous in the East. The East, I feel like the East is the most dangerous conference. With Connecticut, New York, Atlanta, who else? Yeah, the East ain't no
I
joke.
don't know. I'm gonna have to disagree with that. The West, just
The
like in
West.
the NBA, the West is the power. The West got Minnesota. They got Nafisa Collier, Caleb McBride. Then you got the Las Vegas Aces powerhouse. Then you got Seattle, the new big three. Then you got
Mhm.
Dallas, Enrique, Satu. Then you got
I mean,
Phoenix.
Dallas been real quiet. Satu's still injured. It's only been um Enrique and Tierra McCowan right now. I
Yeah,
can't
I know,
believe
but
they didn't re-sign Odyssey Sims. I feel like they've been having trouble at that point position.
so
Um,
here's the thing with Dallas, K. Here's the thing. Sorry to cut you off real quick, but here's the thing with Dallas, because this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a situation where Dallas is going to get their players back. It's gonna be late in the season. They're gonna either sneak into the playoffs. And imagine, would you want to see Dallas in the first round? If you were a top team and Dallas comes back and they have a healthy Seitu, they got healthy Enrique, they got everybody healthy and ready to go and you're a number one team, do you want to see Dallas in the first round? Like Dallas is going to come
no,
in
not at
to the
all, because they
playoffs.
can sideline you. You haven't seen how they played together all season, so they can really surprise
Exactly.
you and might win the series, especially in a 3-game series.
A
It's easier.
three, yo, what? Nah, I don't know. Dallas is they still scary to me. I think for me it's still gonna be the West. The West is still gonna be the powerhouse to me, only because we have so many teams in the Eastern Conference that's still rebuilding. In the West, all they got is the Los Angeles Sparks that's rebuilding. Everybody else in the West, they feel like they could win. Minnesota feel like they can win. Vegas feel like they win.
I,
Seattle made the
I agree.
moves.
I agree. And all the teams in the
Yeah,
West did make moves in the off season to win. Like you said, Los Angeles
yeah,
really is the only team in the West that's rebuilding, and Washington probably
yeah.
in the East. But speaking of East and West, the Commissioner Cup is on its way already. 2 days since the Commissioner Cup has started. Who would you like to see face off for the Commissioner Cup?
For the Commissioner's Cup, who would I like to see? I would like to see my New York Liberty repeat as Commissioner Cup champion. And I would like to see the New York Liberty go against the Connecticut Sun in the Commissioner's Cup.
I
That's
think can they go up against each other, two Eastern Conference teams? I believe it's
it has to be by conference.
right, East and West, yeah.
Oh, okay, East and West. Okay, so for me, I would like to see the New York Liberty go against the Minnesota Lynx for the for the Commissioner's Cup. Only because the Minnesota Lynx waxed the Liberty this season, and I know they want some payback. I'm pretty sure they would like to get that payback on a championship ground. So that would be nice to me, and I wouldn't
I
be
mean, it's
mad at
possible.
a repeat.
Both teams have won their first Cup matchup, which means they're up there in the standings for their conference. So it could be possible. New York Liberty, Minnesota Lynx, Liberty with a chance to repeat, JJ with the chance to repeat Commissioner Cup MVP. Would love to see it because when JJ's playing great. Um, and dominating in the paint, the Liberty are unstoppable.
Yeah, that would be fire. But to be honest with you though, if I could change my pick, I would like to see in the Commissioner's Cup, the Commissioner's Cup, I would like to see Indiana versus the Los Angeles Sparks
No
in the
take that.
Commissioner's Cup.
But that would be a good matchup since they did play a close one.
Yeah.
And they're 1-1, I believe, and the Sparks beat Indiana once, and Indiana beat the Sparks once already.
Yeah.
So that would be a
Yeah,
great
so
for the rookies as well.
so for me, because I'm superstitious, the fact that the Liberty won the Commissioner's Cup last year and lost in the finals, I'm gonna just say, you know what, scratch the Commissioner's Cup. We got our Commissioner's Cup.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. We're good on that. We did that already. Charities gonna get their money. Yeah, I don't want to see the Liberty in the Commissioner's Cup. So I'd like to see Indiana. I like to see the young teams. It would be cool to see that again. It would be fire if we seen who made it to the Commissioner Cup this year. If it was Indiana and Los Angeles made it to the Commissioners to the NBA, the play-in game, the play-in tournament. I don't know if you remember that.
It was Indiana and it was Halliburton and LeBron.
Yeah, and LeBron, yeah. So for me, I would like to see that in the WNBA version. I'd like to see Indiana and the Sparks
that's a fire pick
for the Commissioner's Cup. That would be fire.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. But
Fever already lost one matchup, but it would be a good game.
Who you got for the Commissioner's Cup?
I have Minnesota and the Sun and the Connecticut Sun.
Minnesota and Connecticut, yeah. They're
the players that really. I mean, they're the two teams that really interchanged the most players. Natisha Heidemann from the Sun to to the Lynx. Sorry, Tiffany Mitchell from the Lynx to the Sun, and then Courtney Williams was a Suns player before, not most recently, but and now is with the Lynx as well. So I feel like they really have some history there, especially this offseason. So it would be a great matchup.
Off tangent, man. That Tiffany Mitchell move to the Sun, that I hated that, man, because I'm like, yo, I like Tiffany Mitchell a lot too. I think she could ball. She's actually one of my favorite WNBA players. I know she don't get that much time, but like I like the things she does outside of basketball too, with her tiff fit. You know, I hit the gym too, so I'll be seeing some of the stuff that she's doing.
She's definitely
she's a beast. She's a beast. Like I really mess with Tiffany Mitchell. She's dope. And she could dunk too. People don't know that. Like Tiffany Mitchell could dunk the basketball. She could dunk the basketball. She definitely got a video. I'll see if I could go back on social and see if I could give it to you so you could add it to this video. But she could dunk the basketball.
I'm gonna find it because I'm finding that. Ain't no way Tiffany Mitchell could dunk.
Yeah, she could dunk the ball. She got bungee. She could get up there. But again,
it's the next player to dunk in a WNBA game because we haven't seen much of it. I mean, I know Ashlyn Walken from South Carolina
the next player
dunked so effortlessly in a college game recently.
For me, I feel like the next player to dunk in a WNBA game is either going to be Cameron Brink or Asia Wilson. To me, it'll be Cameron or Asia Wilson. Cameron, because how tall she is, she has a lot. She's real lengthy, and I think she could dunk. I feel like she could dunk with her length. But Asia Wilson, I feel like Asia Wilson got that in her, like on some momentum on a fast break. I feel like she could get up there.
Wilson dunk, you're gonna have to block me because you guys will get tired of me. You guys will be sick of me. The amount of times I will post that dunk. I would be going crazy if Asia Wilson adds dunk to her
Oh yeah, that would be fire. That would be fire. And another person, I haven't seen them dunk, but she got that look in her eyes like she could do it if she could. Is to me Rakia Jackson. I know I picked two rookies on the same team, but Rakia Jackson looked like it. A person who actually looked like they was about to dunk in training camp the other day, and I spoke to the player she did it to. She was about to do it to. Shout out to the Jello Show, one of the Liberty practice players. But Brianna Stewart, she looked like she could still get up there. I'm pretty sure she could still do it if she like really gets her legs warmed up. but there was a play where Sabrina dimed her the ball and she was coming down the lane and she came up on dude and she was really high up there. And she already got a long wingspan and he was just looking up at her like, yo. And we had spoke on IG and he was like, yo, I thought it was a wrap. Like I thought she really got up there. Like
it was a good day. First take, we had some of our favorites, Stephen A, Monica McNutt, Molly. Who else was on there? Shannon Sharp. Sorry,
Shannon Sharp. Yeah, Uncle Shay Shay.
It got heated. The conversation got heated. As we know, Kennedy Carter pushed down Caitlin Clark. It wasn't called a flagrant one during the game. It wasn't a basketball play, and it was reviewed after the game. The WNBA upgraded it to a flagrant one. Glad to see that they got it right afterwards, but I would love to see them actually call it a flagrant one during the game, protecting Caitlin Clark, because we all know it wasn't right. It wasn't a basketball play. But it got heated on first take. Monica Manat was standing up for the WNBA.
We need give Monica her flowers, protect Monica at all costs, because what she did to Stephen A this morning, I'm pretty sure Stephen A felt a little bit embarrassed. But I will say this to say this, I think everybody should kind of like not make it so awkward, because at the end of the day, Monica still got to go to work. She still got to work for ESPN. She had every right to say what she had to say. But I don't think everybody should make it as hype as they making it and blasting Stephen A the way that they blasting him for everything. We are happy. I'm excited because I remember last year I was complaining about how much ESPN wasn't talking about the WNBA, how much NBA Today wasn't talking about WNBA and everything, how much teams wasn't talking about the Liberty. Like I was complaining about that last year because I'm like, yo, this is the best team in NY. Why are we not getting more coverage? Why are we not getting this? Why are we not getting that? So I'm happy.
First thing in the morning, the first segment is WNBA.
WNBA. So I'm loving every moment of that. And the only reason why that's happening now is because these shows realize that there's viewership in the WNBA and women's sports and like that. But here's what they need to do. Here's what the Stephen A's and all of them need to do. They got to do their research before they start speaking on it. Even myself, I'm in this space too. I'm in this media space now. And I'm not a woman, but I'm covering women's sports. So it's a little bit different. It's basketball, but at the end of the day, like there's certain things that I'm not going to put myself in and try to comment on because that's women's business. So I'm not even going to say nothing on it or try to get myself canceled from the WNBA public. And, I just got here. So I'm still learning about the space and everything like that. I'm glad that Monica put her foot down and said what she said because she had every right to. But like it's gonna be like this for a really long time. All right, it's gonna be like this for a while. What are your thoughts? How you feel about it?
If you don't know what she said, she called him out on, you've had this platform for a long time. The amount of viewership and people who actually rely on First Take and rely on Stephen A and Shannon Sharp for basketball news is they have a great public, a lot of following. So saying you could have been supporting the WNBA for a long time now. I didn't hear you having all this talk and all these opinions 3 years ago. And I love that Monica said that because it's the truth. Everyone's been asking people in the media, people with so much following and so much platforms to help shout out the WNBA to help highlight these players. And they're just doing it now. We know the Caitlin Clark effect, the Caitlin hype, but the talent's been there. The product has been good for a long time. And you're now choosing to cover. So like you said, you need to choose, do your homework, be prepared, and choose wisely on the battles that you comment on.
And for me too, what I don't want to happen in this space is I don't want some of the WNBA media to like feel like it's necessary to push these guys away and say stuff about them to make them not want to cover the WNBA, because at the end of the day, these men and these women too who say crazy stuff, they have platforms that a lot of people watch. So we want to keep the eyes on the W, right? So I think it's fair to just educate them and speak to them about certain things as opposed to doing that. And here's what I will say to the people who have already been in the space, because we respectfully coming to you. Me, speaking from myself, I'm respectfully walking into the WNBA space. I'm not coming in the WNBA space looking for clout, looking to go viral, looking to do anything like that. If you see our content is very genuine. It's something that we wanted to do. We've been fans of the WNBA before we started dropping, before we've put out content. I'm over 20 years of love for the W. So it's like, you know, nobody's coming in here trying to come into your space for clicks and clickbait and viewership like that. We're coming at this from an angle of like, yo, we want to highlight the women too. We want to highlight, we've done our part. We bring a lot of people to the games. We interview a lot of fans. We talk to a lot of people. We educate people on what we
We
know, and
created
we
a lot
look
of
for
conversation
education
on
on
social
ourselves.
media, conversations
Yeah,
that weren't being had a couple years ago, and that's why we started. We
yeah,
noticed all these fans have voices, have opinions, and we're just uh um doing the work of showcasing their voices.
yeah. And
And
another
they're
thing
super
too.
thankful for it because they tell
Yeah,
to me all the time. It's like, I love seeing myself on your page and being able to answer questions because that's actually how I feel at home. So to be able to share and show other fans that we have a great time at these games. I love when you post
yeah,
Go Liberty and all these little kids at their first games and having a great time because that's what we
yeah.
do,
Like,
showing you that this is the place to be all summer.
exactly. This is the place to be, and we want to highlight that. Like, we can highlight. We're gonna continue to highlight that, and no matter who likes it or not, we still gonna be here. We're gonna be in the space. We're gonna still do what we do. And another thing too is like another thing I do want to talk about is the influence that we've had as well as content creators, including yourself, including myself, with what we've been doing last year in terms of interviewing a lot of fans. Historically, the media weren't necessarily at the games or anything for the fans. They're there for the players. They're there, you know, to create content with the teams and the players. Like, you know, we came at it from a different angle, and we decided to speak to the fans as personal fans ourselves, and, you know, brought that kind of engagement. And we're not hating. We're happy to see that the people, the media who already had the access to the players and stuff, they're now leaving and they're coming outside and they want to talk to fans. They want to engage with fans and stuff like that now too, because they understand the importance of the people who actually do the support. The players play the
And there
game,
isn't
but it's
a
the fans
WNBA
who
without the
support.
fan support.
Exactly, that's what it is. It's just like the open and shut case. It's just like that.
Exactly. I mean, we love the fans. The fans, I mean, I have a great time because of the fans. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the game, but the fans make my
Yeah,
day every day, every night. Shout out to Craig. Craig is there super early. He's probably my
yeah,
favorite, always rocking Liberty gear. I have to shout him out because he's always showing love as soon as he sees me.
yeah.
He's like,
Yo,
oh,
speaking of shout outs, because that was a perfect shout out to Craig, because I actually interviewed Craig yesterday too, for one of my questions that I was actually editing before editing this question. I'm gonna drop it after we finish recording this episode. But Craig, he ready to see Connecticut. He don't want Connecticut to lose a game until they see the Liberty. He's ready. He's ready for Connecticut next week. But shout out to Craig. Shout out to Liberty FM Pod. Like you said, they gave you an amazing message. Did the same for myself. Um, like amazing, amazing fans. Joe, Lila Joseph, who I seen yesterday, she gave me a Liberty bag that you might see in the background. It's something like mad information, mad stuff. They just like super supportive. Like the fans, WNBA fans, Liberty fans, whatever it is, super supportive, and we appreciate y'all from the bottom of our hearts.
yes. And you guys always have a space in our heart, a place in our heart for allowing us to do what we love at a different level now that we've had the access to speak to coaches and speak to players. But we have more content for you guys on the way as the season progresses. I have more trivia. I'm bringing out my trivia wheel soon as the first month of the season is over. So this June, trying something new with trivia. So I can't wait to bring
Dope,
it out for you guys. Um,
dope.
and speaking of the WNBA and the amazing fans, we've had so many, and the league is growing. Another team
Yeah,
announced Canada.
Oh yeah, Toronto,
Get your
yeah. So
passports ready. Get your passports ready. We gotta cross the border real
we
soon.
got across the border now, yeah. So we got the Valkyries coming next year, and then we got Toronto. We don't have a name yet. The Rapettes, we'll call them the Rapettes. The
Yo,
Rapettes.
I
I
can't
don't
do
know. I don't know, but yeah, good.
it.
Congratulations to Toronto.
Sixes.
Yeah, to the Sixers. Congratulations to them. They're gonna be in the building. I don't know what city is next for after that, but I need
I'm
to get
asking the
my
fans
coins up.
that next week, so we'll see what the
I
fans
need
have to say about that.
I need to get my coins up because I need to be a part of an ownership group. I was talking to one of my boys today. I'm like, yo, I want to be part of an ownership group for a team, and I don't care if it's basketball or soccer, but I prefer a
A
women's
basketball
basketball
team, of
team.
course.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be fine.
don't you have to buy a certain amount of stocks? Isn't it like you can just
Yeah, get shares. I honestly don't know how it works, but I know that it's usually ownership groups that come together and buy. But yeah, you get a percentage of the team. It's not like you own the whole team. But I want a little something off the top. I want a percentage of a team, and I want to sit in the big room with the round table with the big wigs and everything like that. I promise I'll be one of the best team owners ever. Like I would be up there like one of the
what would
best
be your
represent.
first order of work as a team owner?
As a team owner, I'm probably still going to be doing like Liberty Fan TV as a team as a team owner. I'm just going to be doing my own team fan TV
Okay,
as
okay.
the team owner. That's how involved I am to like the support of my teams and stuff like that. So that would be one of my first orders of business. Obviously, I would probably try to get like Paige Beckers or somebody on my team or something like that.
I'm sorry, but Paige is already
Yeah,
locked
like
in with the
oh,
Valkyrie.
well, not even Paige Beckers. By the time, yeah, I'm actually going
I need
towards
to go
because I'm
after
gonna need some time. So my first
Malaysia for Wiley or
Juju,
Juju.
that's gonna be my pick. Nah, my pick is gonna be Juju. That's it. I'm waiting on Juju. I will wait on you, Juju. I will wait, but the Valkyries are not even. Why is everybody saying Paige and the Valkyries? The Valkyries are not getting the first pick. Like they're not. They don't automatically get the first pick. You know that, right?
I know it's the worst
They
team,
don't. They
and
like.
then
They
they
still have to do the
pick from the worst teams. Like it'll be
no, I'm saying they still
Washington.
have to do the draft. Yeah,
Right, yeah, I know. Just like the NBA, just
they
like
still got
last
to do the
season,
lottery and everything like that.
the lottery with the worst last four teams. But
I'm
they have
gonna
the
be
biggest
so
chance,
mad if
don't
the
they?
Valkyries get paid.
Don't they have the highest chance though?
Who?
They have the highest chance.
Who? Valkyries?
Right.
Nah, they won't. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think the Valkyries have the highest chance. The person with the worst record. You know what? We might actually see. We might see UConn Part 2. We might get to see Paige Beckers and Aaliyah Edwards play basketball
From
again
Washington.
if
I mean, I wouldn't
Washington
be mad at
continues
that
to
either.
do what they do.
And they're close to the
I
East Coast.
wouldn't be
They'll
mad at
bring
that.
the
But
whole
you
UConn
know
fan base out to Washington. I wouldn't be mad at that.
that would that would. But you know what I want. You know what I want because like I told people on one of my lives, the New York Liberty own Phoenix Mercury's pick. I want the Phoenix Mercury to have a horrible season so that the Liberty could not only win the championship this season, get the #1 overall pick, and draft Paige Beckers after winning our very first championship. All right, that's all I want. I'm not asking for too much, y'all. I don't feel like I'm going
I
overboard,
think that's
going
a stretch,
crazy.
but I'll let
That
you
you know,
keep
it's a
dreaming.
stretch. It's a stretch, but whatever. I'm still
But
hopeful
Phoenix
for it.
hasn't been playing that great either. They had a
They
couple
haven't.
first good games, surprising games at the beginning. I was like, oh, they might be dangerous, but they're shooting. They just been coming out flat. If they're not shooting great, then they're not playing great. They've
Yeah,
been
they 4-5 right
on
now.
offense, yeah.
They 4-5. I'm gonna need them to end the season 4-36, so we can get this.
Okay, you got some high expectations, but
We got high hopes and expectations on these sides.
um Angel Reese recently just tweeted, Samori just sent me this, which is funny. Not
Right.
tweeted, but she responded at a post conference. Caitlin Clark, not the only WNBA player drawing fans. What there people are watching because of me too.
Oh shit. Okay. I mean, she's right. She's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Like they like it is what it is though. Like Caitlin Clark is going to be the topic of conversation because she's the common denominator and why most fans, we're not saying all fans, but most fans are tuned in for Caitlin Clark. And then to me, it's a demographics thing. I don't like to put color into it or anything like that because color seems to be the biggest thing. But you see, like the Angel Reese has African American friends. Caitlin Clark has Caucasian fans, and you know, a mixture of fans and stuff like that. So it's a whole different thing. But for me, I think it's like, you know, she's just, I feel like Angel Reese just needs to stay off of social media because I feel like this is affecting her and it's affecting her every single day because it's like that's all you're gonna continue to see. That's all you're gonna continue to see.
And been handling it pretty well because not only she hasn't been commenting too much on social media as she's used to in college, but even on the court, the way she's been handling her attitude and her mouth. Alyssa Thomas, probably one of the most physical players in the WNBA, got into a little run-in with Angel Reese when they played in Connecticut.
That was a regular foul.
I mean, it was a hard foul, but Angel Reese walked away. You know, when other instances she would fall back. With Stewie, when Stewie fell over her and she had the and one, she did the little mean mug, but when she got up, she gave Stewie a nice tap. You know, before she would be doing the too little sign. So she's been, you know, working her attitude, knowing that they're just playing physical. But Caitlin Clark, on the other hand, I feel like she's complaining in post-game conferences, talking about how players are being too physical with her, how teams are giving her, you know, their best shot. And instead of helping herself out, she creates a bigger target on her back by trash talking, because what they don't show in the possession before Kennedy pushed her to the floor, she was trash talking and giving her a little elbow for 2 possessions straight before Kennedy lost it. So it's like, you already have this target on your back. They're already playing extra physical with you, and your entire team. You know, at least stay humble.
But what is Caitlin Clark supposed to do? Not supposed to like be competitive and talk shit to some veterans and stuff because they a vet. Like I'm so with that whole situation, I seen the whole situation transpire. At first, when I was watching the play, I'm like, I thought it was hateful because that look in Kennedy's eyes when you see the slow-mo and she says what she says, whatever she says, and she gave her a look and just shoved her. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, what happened? But then I seen the play before, and I'm like, I knew Caitlin, CeCe's not innocent. She's not innocent. 1, 2. Kennedy's reaction was not warranted. What I thought would have been better for Kennedy is to do it as a professional, because there's ways that you get your get back. The same way that Caitlin Clark reacted. So for me, it's so hard because we don't know where this all started. We only saw those 2 things. We seen the thing that Caitlin Clark did, but that was deep into the game. Caitlin Clark could have been reacting to something Kennedy did to her, like to her physicality and stuff like that. But you hit it right on the money when you're talking about. Exactly. So you hit it right on the money when you said what you said, because Angel Reese's responses to everything has been way different than Caitlin Clark's responses, because it's like, Angel Reese is like, it's part of the game. I'm with it, and so and so. She's handling it very mature. Caitlin Clark seems like she's taking the Michael Jordan route. And when I say that, the Jordan rules route, when Michael Jordan used to complain about the physicality that the Detroit Pistons played with, and then they essentially started something called the Jordan rules. Ask Samori when you get a chance about the Jordan rules, and he'll tell you everything about it. But they pretty much changed the game for Michael Jordan in terms of the way that you play defense in basketball and stuff like that. So I'm kind of scared that might happen in the WNBA, in the sense of they'll start protecting her. They're going to change the physicality of the game and everything. So like, I don't want stuff like that to happen. But for me, how do you feel? I want to ask you a question. How do you feel about? Yeah, exactly. How do you feel about what the people have been saying, like Matt Barnes, Draymond Green, when they're talking about like, they need to have an enforcer on Indiana or something like that? How do you feel about that?
I understand where they're coming from. Like, they want to see somebody on the Fever stand up for Caitlin Clark and defend her and be like, like, what are you doing? Like, this is my teammate. But I understand that not everyone is built like that. Not everyone might want to get into some beef, you know, might be suspended for a game. It's not like the NBA where you're suspended, you don't get paid for one game. It's like whatever. These ladies already don't make as much. You don't want to be suspended and lose out on a game check over something so silly. But it's like, where are my teammates at? Who has my back? Camila Cardoso, we seen it in
You gotta fight for
NBA
your team.
when they pushed Ashlyn Watkins. It was only a tap, but she came back and pushed Flau'jae down and was like, "You're not gonna do that to my teammates." And her team really greatly
Absolutely.
appreciates that. Camila Cardoso being the MVP player, they won the championship game, and she wasn't on the court to celebrate with her team, but her team knows like we're gonna continue to win and continue to play for her because she's willing to put herself on the line for me. So who's gonna do that for Caitlin Clark? Who's gonna be that player?
Exactly.
Say, oh, you can't just walk around my point guard like that.
Exactly. You train all your life. Nobody's training for fights. This ain't war or nothing like that. Nobody's trying to knock nobody out. But all we asking is for you to stand up. I know a lot of people is talking crazy to about Draymond Green and Matt Barnes' comments about them saying that you need an enforcer. But this is the ad age of sport. This is how it goes in sports, like football, baseball, whatever it is. Like you hit my batter with a pitch, my guys is getting up. Like it don't have to be a brawl, but at the end of the day, you got to tap
We're
somebody on
clearing
the
out the
shoulder
whole
and let them
bench.
know, nah, this is not
In
happening.
baseball, we're
You
clearing out
got
the
to
whole bench.
exactly. You have to defend your teammates. So it's like I said to you earlier, I said I'm not gonna let nothing happen. Like bucket for bucket, we a team at the end of the day. If I see a fan get crazy with Kayla, I gotta deck them. I gotta do something. I
It's
gotta
on
be.
site.
I gotta get into the action. I gotta get into the action. So I'm not gonna sit there and watch something happen to you, and I can't let that happen. Especially it being Caitlin Clark, because Caitlin Clark is my meal ticket. At the end of the day, call it what you want. I know there's a lot of talented people in the WNBA and whatever it is, a lot of stuff. And when I say Caitlin Clark is my meal ticket, I mean that respectfully in the sense of she has brought a lot more attention to the
You ain't
game.
wrong. I mean, the Fever wasn't
Yeah,
televised last year. Now this season, every single Fever game is televised. So every time you're playing against the Fever, why are teams playing the way they're playing? They want to show out. They want to give us all they got. Why? They know all the eyes
hell
are.
yeah.
So it's like, why would you do, be so aggressive with Caitlin Clark, knowing everyone is watching, knowing people are going to talk about it after the game, um, and be so hateful.
So no, for the aggression, that's cool. The aggression is cool. I like the aggression. I like y'all playing physical because at the end of the day, I don't want to be a professional in the WNBA and then get my ass bust by some rookie that everybody's saying is the phenom. So I'm okay with them playing physical and stuff like that. Just know out of bounds basketball plays. Caitlin Clark's teammates, please protect her at all costs. The WNBA also do a better job at protecting not only her, but protecting Angel Reese as well. Angel Reese has had some tough fouls thrown her way at the end of the day. Like she's gotten knocked upside the head a couple times. Protect them, protect our rookies because this new rookie class is, they're definitely bringing a lot more eyes and attention to the game. That's all I want to see.
As that enforcer for the Fever that you're mentioning, because I know Aaliyah Boston, when Victoria Vivens got into Caitlin Clark's face, Aaliyah didn't even look at Victoria Vivens. She just turned around to Caitlin Clark and pushed her.
She didn't. She pulled her. Yeah, that's why I'm just like, yo, I'm so like, But for me, it's Melissa Smith and Erica Willard. Those got to be my two tough people, my veterans. Erica Willard, especially, like somebody that's taking her spot. Because I want to see the same energy that I saw from the Indiana Fever. Remember when they was taking that team photo outside? Erica gave Caitlin the chains and everything like that. Yeah. That's the energy I want to see from y'all. I don't want to see the energy. What I see from the Indiana Fever right now, I feel like they're allowing social media into their locker room, and that you cannot let that happen. I feel like they're allowing too much social media into their locker room. Media.
It was that bad.
Exactly. Stay the hell away from that and let all of these so-called experts, these newbies and everything have what they have to say. They are not a part of the process. They are not a part of the process. They don't go through the blood and sweat and tears that y'all go through every day. So nothing that they say is valid. There's no validation to what these people are saying about Aaliyah Boston, Alyssa Smith, and the Indiana Fever at the end of the day. So it's like, yo, don't pay attention to that. All of this stuff is getting into the locker room, and I don't like it at all. I can't stand it for them, especially for Leah Boston and Alyssa Smith, because those I love those two players and the way that they play ball. But it's what we're seeing right now is not Alyssa Smith and Leah Boston. If we were really seeing
Or Kelsey Mitchell either.
Or Kelsey Mitchell, like yo,
quiet.
real quiet. So I don't know. Like I want to see when they get it together.
Bucket for bucket. See you next week.
Next week. We're gonna see y'all next week. And shout out to everybody for tuning in.